Hi, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I would like a moment of your time because I wanted you to know something. I wanted you to know about Dr. Milton Friedman's TV series, Free to Choose. I truly believe that the series has changed my life. And when you have such a powerful experience as that, I think you shouldn't keep it to yourself, so I wanted to share it with you. Being free to choose for me means being free to make your own decisions, free to live your own life, pursue your own goals, chase your own rainbow, without the government breathing down on your neck or standing on your shoes. For me, that meant coming here to America, because I came from a socialistic country where the government controls the economy. It's a place where you can hear 18-year-old kids already talking about their pension. But me, I wanted more. I wanted to be the best. Individualism like that is incompatible with socialism. So I felt I had to come to America. I had no money in my pocket, but here I had the freedom to get it. I've been able to parlay my big muscles into big business and a big movie career. And along the way, I was able to save and invest. And I watched America change. And I noticed this, that the more the government interfered and intervened and inserted itself into the free market, the worse the country did. But when the government stepped back and let the free enterprise system do its work, then the better we did, the more robust our economy grew, the better I did, and the better my business grew, and the more I was able to hire and help others. Dr. Friedman expressed, validated, and explained everything I ever thought or experienced or observed about the way the economy works. And I guess I was really ready to hear it. He said, the economic race should not be arranged so that everyone ends at the finish line at the same time, but so that everyone starts at the starting line at the same time. Wow. I would like to write that one home to Austria. He said that society that puts equality before freedom winds up with neither, but that society puts freedom before equality will end up with a great measure of both. Boy, if I would have come up with that one myself, I maybe wouldn't have had to get into bodybuilding. When I did beef up my bodybuilding with business school, of course I started what Thomas Jefferson believed, and what Adam Smith thought, and even what Milton Friedman had to say. But with Free to Choose, it all came together. Their economic thought with my own personal experience. In a way, I felt I'd come home. I sought out Dr. Friedman and had the great pleasure and privilege of meeting him and his economist wife, Rose. And we've all become friends, and now I call him Milton. And that became a big pain in the neck about Free to Choose. All the way through the Reagan years when I was able to tell them all, you see, Milton is right. And I think it's crucial that we all keep moving in the same direction, away from socialism and towards greater freedom and opportunity. That's why I'm so excited that Milton Friedman is updating Free to Choose, bringing it into the 90s by discussing how to deal with the drug disaster, the Japan phenomenon, and of course, the miserable failure of communism. Oh, by the way, there are plans now to translate Free to Choose into the languages of the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. And you know, they really need it to guide them through as they take the first walk into freedom. But we need it too. I recommend you the new TV series Free to Choose and encourage you to walk into the 21st century in freedom, in opportunity, and in success with Dr. Milton Friedman. Thanks for listening.
Libre para elegir. La opinión personal de Milton Friedman. ¿Qué anda mal en nuestras escuelas? Estos jóvenes comienzan un nuevo día en una de las escuelas públicas de los Estados Unidos, el Instituto Hyde Park en Boston. Lo que sucede cuando traspasan esas puertas es una ilustración patente de algunos de los problemas a que se enfrentan nuestras escuelas en Norteamérica. Deben pasar por detectores de metal. Deben enfrentarse a guardias de seguridad que buscan armas ocultas. Y los vigilan policías armados. ¿No es algo indigno? ¿Qué manera de entrar a la escuela a través de detectores de metal y registrados? ¿Qué podrán aprender en esas circunstancias? Nadie está conforme con este tipo de educación. Los contribuyentes de ninguna manera lo están. Esa no es una educación barata. Después de todo, estos policías uniformados, esos detectores de metal, deben ser pagados.
Scientists have developed a new technology to cure mentally ill adults. With the use of electroshocks, the minds of sick patients are being wiped clean, giving them a fresh start. On this blank slate, physicians then imprint a new, healthy personality.
Remaking people, shocking them into obedience. This is a story about that powerful idea. But these techniques don't only work on individuals. They can work on whole societies. A collective trauma, a war, a coup, a natural disaster, a terrorist attack puts us all into a state of shock. And in the aftermath, like the prisoner in the interrogation chamber, we too become childlike, more inclined to follow leaders who claim to protect us. One person who understood this phenomenon early on was the most famous economist of our era, Milton Friedman. Friedman believed in a radical vision of society in which profit and the market drive every aspect of life, from schools to healthcare, even the army. He called for abolishing all trade protections, deregulating all prices, and eviscerating government services. These ideas have always been tremendously unpopular, and understandably so. They cause waves of unemployment, send prices soaring, and make life more precarious for millions. Unable to advance their agenda democratically, Friedman and his disciples were drawn to the power of shock. Friedman understood that just as prisoners are softened up for interrogation by the shock of their capture, massive disasters could serve to soften us up for his radical free market crusade. He advised politicians that immediately after a crisis, they should push through all the painful policies at once before people could regain their footing. He called this method economic shock treatment. I call it the shock doctrine. Take a second look at the iconic events of our era, and behind many, you will find its logic at work. This is the secret history of the free market. It wasn't born in freedom and democracy. It was born in shock.
Isolation, both physical and psychological, must be maintained from the moment of apprehension. The capacity for resistance is diminished by disorientation. Prisoners should maintain silence at all times. They should never be allowed to speak to each other.
There's one other thing I've learned from my study of states of shock. Shock wears off. It is by definition a temporary state. And the best way to stay oriented, To resist shock is to know what is happening to you and why.